Hey, what's up? It's take two of the Facebook Live here today on the 2nd of February 2017. It's Groundhog's Day, so it's kind of the same. I'm just doing the same thing over. We've got the first Facebook Live. I'm sorry I had to ditch you. If you listen to the podcast, you're completely confused right now. So I'm talking to two different audiences here. Those of you that are listening to me in the future, and those of you that are listening to me here in real time. Had a little freeze up on the Facebook Live, but that happens. And luckily on Groundhog's Day, it's just a replay, man. So we're just going to get into the conversation again. I see a lot of you joining the Facebook Live that if you didn't notice, the last one froze up on me. I'm just sitting here looking at the camera, or the screen of my camera phone, staring right back at me, not moving, no mouth, nothing. So hopefully there won't be too much data going through. We are live, like I said, here in Kansas City, Missouri. I will say it was a great conversation I was having by myself before we broke off, just talking about Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas City, Kansas. We do have a line that goes right down the middle. Hello, Klaus from Germany, joining us on the Facebook Live. We do have a road that goes right down the middle of Kansas City. It's called State Line Road, and on one side is Missouri, the other side is Kansas. We also have the Kansas River that or is it the Missouri River that flows through, which is what I live near. I live in Missouri, downtown by the River Market. But just give you a little heads up for Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, is that if you're at the airport in Kansas City, you are in Missouri. If you are at Legends, where the big speedway is, where NASCAR is, you are in Kansas. If you're in Orland Park, you're in Kansas. If you are downtown, you're in Missouri. If you're in the plaza, you're in Missouri. If you're in Westport, if you are at Oak Park, you're in Kansas. But what I want to talk about today is middle-aged people, and unfortunately I've got to face the mirror and face the thing that I am middle-aged. I'm a 42-year-old man. You can't tell by the gray in the beard. I'm 42 years old. I feel like I'm 41 years old. Melissa says, Mr. Bergman says, I just know by Chiefs Stadium. If you're watching a Chiefs game or a Royals game, you're in Missouri. A lot of people get confused when they're here. So if you ever come to Kansas City, make sure you hit me up. I will tell you if you're in Kansas or Missouri. So why do middle-aged people like myself need to start telling millennials to get off their phone, that they're addicted? Gary Macy says, totally agree. There's no reason to call them millennials. Using titles for people typically means a business cannot connect. Same thing with calling an internet lead versus I got you right there. So why? Because a study that just came out from last year, the study was done in last year, but the study actually just didn't, from Bloomberg to January 25th, 2017. It actually shows that middle-aged Americans are on social media more than millennials. Believe it. I'm going to say that again. It absolutely says a report found that average social media and general media consumption are the highest among 35 to 49-year-olds. Isn't that crazy? That is social media and regular media that's online. It's the media consumption by Generation X, whose members spend about 32 hours a week on average on all media. 32 hours a week on all media, compared to 27 hours for millennials. So Gen Xers, like myself, like Gary, like a lot of you that are tuning into this right now, we are the ones addicted to our phones. Yes, we are the ones that are addicted to this. I'd like to see the new generation that's coming up after Gen X that are growing up with the fact of never even not knowing a personal cell phone device, that they've had basically a personal computer in your pocket. And let me finish this up too. So the next generation older, which is 50 years old, the respondents there, 20 hours of media use on their phones. So Bloomberg goes into saying this. Mashable has reposted this. Excuse me. I'll put the link inside in the comments here, but we got to start judging. We got to stop it. We've got to stop just picking on millennials, man. We got to stop doing it, because you know what? It pissed me off when baby boomers were calling Gen Xers like myself lazy, entitled. Remember those things? It seems like the same thing that we're calling millennials. Sally says, we've been out to dinner with my parents and they'll both be on their phones while I'm just sitting there. So I'm mom and dad. You're still awesome. I agree with you 100%. My mother addicted to Facebook. I mean, just loves reading about it, what's going on in the world of everybody else that she's connected to. The same woman that would not get on it years ago is now on it constantly. And I know, I love it too. I sent her a message on Facebook and it comes back to me instantaneously. My stepdad does not have Facebook and uses a flip phone. So no, I think he just got a smartphone here recently, but he still just uses it regular. So the popular belief that we are here to drain, and the popular belief that your advertising or the way that you're putting ads out on digital marketplaces or digital areas out there, you have to consider, because I've heard too many marketers are leaning towards a millennial type marketing strategy, but this is showing us now that middle-aged America, Gen Xers, are the top, spending more time on media sites, social media, which user-generated content sites, or just media sites like BuzzFeed, MSNBC, or MSN, et cetera, Fox, Jalopnik, whatever it is on your mobiles. But yeah, it is a crazy thing to think of when we've been sitting here blasting millennials for so long. And I got something going on in the background here. Excuse me, a little bit of background music for you. So yeah, I'm guilty of it. I'm 100% guilty of it. I'm so guilty of it. I cannot go anywhere without my phone, right? And if I do leave my phone somewhere on purpose, like if I'm going to go down and go to my truck, right? And I leave my phone in my car, I feel like I'm doing or leave my phone in my room or something like that. I feel like I'm doing myself like, look, you don't need it all the time. Like, it's all there. Melissa says, people wonder why we blame the media. Also, we're so busy meddling in other lives, we're not paying attention to history taking place in reality. Opinions are good. Agree with you. Absolutely. I think it's just based on it froze up again. There again, the Facebook Live feed got a little frozen. So what are you using the most? I know it's got to the probably need a stronger glasses prescription or a bigger phone. I can't do media on my phone. It's irritating to make the words big enough to read. Oh, Greg, yes. Those will be coming out. Since we're the biggest user of time spent on medias, you may see some apps in the future or even phones in the future that are coming with larger screens, even bigger and bigger. They think they make the larger screens so you can watch better videos and stuff on the larger screens, like the Notes from Samsung or the Pluses from the iPhones. I think it's the Pluses. But really, no, it's for the old folks. It's for us that just can't read the screen anymore. I feel good I can still get these little specs on so I can read it. But we are consuming so much information now. So much information. I read something that there has been, so I think it was 2005, don't quote me here, but if you take like 2005 to the beginning of the human race, when the human race started, no, that's fire, but good job, Melissa. From the human race, once they started documenting like cave paintings, etc., the amount of information that has been created by humans from 2005 to the beginning of when they started writing on caves, like, artwork, writing books, etc. That amount of data that had been created is the same amount of data that we create daily now. It was 2016 and now in 2017. I mean, that is the amount of data that we are creating every day, with pictures, with articles, with posts on Facebook, with Twitter posts, with Instagram, with Snapchat, with Blogger, with tons, even Flickr's still out there, and MySpace is still getting, just tons of data that humans are creating every single day. Just think about the amount of tweets that are going out daily. I mean, daily. Just imagine the amount people have them automated. It's just automatic posting articles, etc. So, my goal today is to get us to stop blaming other generations, especially the millennial generations, for being completely glued to their phone. Because we may need to look in the mirror, us middle-aged, good-looking, gorgeous 40 and 30-year-olds out there, right? 35 and older. But and start accepting the fact that we are all just data consuming. We are all just grabbing it. I hate labels. My kids are millennial aged, but act nothing like the stereotypes I've seen. They're respectful and work for everything they get. Absolutely. I agree. I hate the fact that there was a baby boomer generation. Your face takes up a lot of space. I mean, your selfies. Hey, listen, I've stopped the selfies for a while, Anthony. I think, by the way, Anthony Bush, I got a phone call right before I jumped on the airplane, the airline coming back to Kansas City from NOLA, from a nice person wanting to know some good things about you, wanted to know some nice things about you because you apparently were reaching out to see if if you could get people, and I did. I gave you great. I even used the word Kaizen. Look it up, Kaizen, and I said you strive in that. Well, this makes me wonder why history books, pads, etc., will be like for my grandchildren. It's going to be amazing. Who would have thought? Who would have thought 10, 15, 20 years ago, hell, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that this place right now, that I would have a cellular device, a phone, basically, a computer, may say. This is not just a phone, it's a computer. It replaces almost every single thing from Rolodexes to the phone to email to computer. Who would have thought that I'd have this strapped to a mounting bracket to a desk with some headphones on and talking to congratulations, Anthony Bush, and talking to a mass group of people, not only that are watching it in real time, but also listening to the podcast that is coming from this. It's just amazing that when my sister told me about MySpace back in 2004, 2003, when I was in broadcasting and I was doing the morning show on a rock station about 70 miles away from here. And by the way, Shane Sellers, he was a late afternoon guy. Shane Sellers later, he just logged in. I saw him. He popped in here. He was doing late afternoons. Jeff Peterson was doing middays. I was doing mornings with a guy named JC. And who would have thought that little step into MySpace and realizing user-generated content in a way that you can network better than you could ever network before absolutely blew me away. But to come to where we're at today, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have a career based off of the technology that is being created every single day. Every day, right? I make my life, money, what I do because of Facebook, because of Twitter, because of Instagram, because of Pinterest, right? I do that. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought when I was a 10-year-old boy and I was asked by my teacher, what did you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be successful? How will we find your words of wisdom without the card catalog? Dewey Decimal System. Little did I say that I wanted to be one of the best social marketers in automotive retail industry or across verticals across the way. And that's a shout out to all my Rodan and Fields ladies that like to watch these videos. Thank you so much for also. So it's an amazing thing. And us middle-agers, we need to stop being so much get off my lawn. Let the baby boomers do that. I mean, there's some cool baby boomers, a lot of cool baby boomers out there that really accept this whole technology thing. And then there's just a lot that are like, don't know what's going on. I'm going to avoid it before I try to understand it. But us middle-aged Gen Xers and early-age baby boomers, let's stop picking on the millennials. Let's stop calling them millennials. Let's call them what they are. They're humans, and they consume data just like we do. But us middle-aged people, we consume more data than anybody else in America, and we need to accept that. And we need to start not... Remember online dating? I keep bringing this up every once in a while. Nobody ever said that they were online dating. Nobody ever wanted to accept that they met somebody on online dating. Remember how people still tell me that social media marketing really is a job? Yep. All Gen X people. It's funny, Chris. Yeah. Remember online dating? Nobody wanted to admit that they'd met somebody online. Remember those days? Also, just something that was really funny today when I went to the Auto Alert men's room. Dan Brune is one of our sales guys over there. Awesome guy. You should check him out on Facebook. He's not real active, but he'd be happy to get new friends. He's at the urinal. I mean, that's what we have in the men's room. There's 3 urinals there, and I took the far one, and he was on this already far one, because you don't stand right next to somebody when the far one is open. You don't do that. It's weird. But he had his cell phone out, and he was checking like email or checking something with his cell phone. And I told him, I was like, man, I remember less than 10 years ago, if you had your cell phone out while you're in the urinal, everybody thought you were a weirdo and that you were trying to take pics of. But now it's just completely accepted, and yeah, online dating is accepted. Having your cell phone everywhere. When we were at the Spin Doctors show in NOLA last Friday night, where the Spin Doctors played for the Auto Alert Auto Bash, it was amazing. I've seen this before, but I've never said this on the Facebook Live. Yeah, 135 bathroom rule, absolutely. And Shane, if you're here, man, and all my boomers and all my Gen Xers, remember you went to if you went to a concert and it was like kind of a mellow time, or like Freebird, right? You took your lighter out and you lit your lighter and you kind of held up. You got to see that at Woodstock, back in the day. Not my generation, but before me. Then they'd hold their lighter up and they would be the way, I don't know what they were doing, but it was cool and everybody got to see it. Nowadays, I just looked across the wave of people that were watching the Spin Doctors, and every single one of them had a cell phone out. Not every single one of them, but I have a great picture. Maybe I should put it in the comments as well. Is somebody was holding, they're all holding their cell phones, right? And they're filming the Spin Doctor show, and I've seen it at other concerts. So it's like the cell phone has replaced the lighter for concerts. Welcome to the show, Heather. Thanks for coming in. By the way, Heather bringing me in a conversation about Nickelback, so thanks a lot for that. But yeah, we have to start accepting the fact that we are data users, we are media users, and we have to stop blaming millennials for being the ones that are lazy on their phones and always on there, because just like what Sally said earlier, you go to dinner and your parents, whatever your parents' age are, they are on their phones, and I am on my phone, and everybody's on their phone. And when you don't have, it's kind of a weird Band-Aid ripoff that when you don't have a signal or a Wi-Fi, there's that panic that kind of hits you for about 30 to 90 seconds. Like, oh my, what in the hell am I going to do? I remember being like in the Badlands of South Dakota or in Arizona or on a mountain in the Appalachian Mountains. Used to kind of, I'd freak out for like 90 seconds. And then I'd realize everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. I survived the majority, I don't know if it's a majority now, but at least half my life, a majority of my life, without being connected to other people and having a face-to-face. So I'm not one of the people that's going to come in and say, you need to turn your phone off every single hour of the day and connect with people and have dinner and lunch and you need to shake hands and do all that. That's fine, man. You want to lead that parade? That's fine. I don't care. I like connecting with you guys online. I like getting instant messages from y'all. I love it. I love conversing. I do get a little freaked out if we meet face to face. I'm just like, oh God, I hope they think I'm cool, right? So let's end today's Facebook Live by saying again, middle-aged people, stop screwing and yelling and blaming millennials for being the ones addicted to your phone, because I'm telling you right now, the Bloomberg report came out and said that the Generation X, the middle-aged people, are on their phones about 7 hours on average more per week consuming media, social media, regular media, news media, video media, 7 hours more per week than the average millennial. And then it goes down, I think it's at 37 hours. I have to go back and look at the numbers. I'll put the article in there. So thanks for joining me on the Facebook Live today. Thanks for consuming the data that I'm putting on you. And I look forward to having some conversations with you all today. Send me a message on Facebook. If you're on the podcast listening right now, you can send me a message through Twitter, which is @SocialLittleMan. Hit me up on Instagram @SocialLittleMan, or on the YouTube in the comments. I'd love to chat back and forth. So I look forward to talking to all you today, and have a great day. Keep smiling.